The views and opinions expressed within the video content found on the Indie Comics Network are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Indie Comics Network or its sponsors.
Hey everyone, I'm back with more Parting with the Alikat, and I have my bestie, Laurie Calcaterra, because I can speak.
No worries.
Path of the Pale Rider.
Woo! I'm so excited to be here. I'm usually in the chat on the phone in the kids' pickup line because this is like when I have to go sit and wait for them, so I'm not like all the way in the damn street waiting to pick them up. So they're on spring break this week, so I was like, ooh, can I come visit?
And I was like, yes. Yeah. Yes, you can definitely come visit and hang out with me as I draw shit.
Absolutely.
And do things. We have another guest coming in too, who is my partner in crime, Peter Palmiotti, when he gets back. Because, as usual, he's having internet issues.
Is it a typical thing?
Yeah.
Wow. It is okay. We forgive. I can't help it sometimes.
We forgive this time.
Not my show. I'm not in charge. I'll just say that.
Yep. But everything should be good. So I figured, since I have a guest on, I would talk a little bit about their crap before I talk about my crap.
So, we can talk about both of our crap. It's great.
Oh, we definitely can. But I've just posted the Kickstarter link for Path of the Pale Rider, and I believe this is the pre-launch page.
Yeah.
For issue 3.
Yes, we are launching issue 3 on March the 20th. So it's like 10, I'm not wearing my watch, like 10 days. So it's getting close. We got lots to do still. I got 3 covers still out there. And Marco just did the interior pages inked and turned them in yesterday. So I'm excited for that. I think I put a peek out there, but I haven't shared it everywhere yet. Hi, kitty, kitty, kitty.
Yes, he wants to eat my hair.
Eat your hair? How rude.
Because it's long and he thinks it's a toy.
Oh. Meow, 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 meow.
And the other day, he smashed me in the ear and made me bleed quite a lot.
What the heck, man?
Yep. I don't know if you can't really see it, but it's on this ear someplace, I think.
He smashed you?
Yep. He was trying to go for my hair and he lunged at me.
Way to go. What a jerk.
Yeah. He can be. Yeah, you can kind of see it, but...
Cats in general.
Yep, cats. They're fuzzy little assholes.
They are.
They're lucky they're cute.
I know.
The reason they're alive.
Right? That's with most things. I think that's why we have that, like, cute fuse in the brain, because we're like, oh, it's so cute. Let's keep it alive, you know? But if things weren't cute, we wouldn't, like, that's like cats, dogs, puppies, babies. Too much work by.
Little babies. It's a defense mechanism for them to make those little cooing noises.
Oh, it's so cute. I just got to take care of you. God, you're so much work. I love you, though.
I love you. I may want to smother you, but I love you.
When they get older and they can talk back, then it's like, I taught you how to pee in the potty. Who are you to tell me anything?
Oh, God. That is...
Right?
Yeah. That's some serious stuff there. I'm very happy I have no children that I'm aware of.
That you're aware of. I think you would be aware.
I'm pretty sure I would know.
I'm pretty sure you would know.
But 9 months of agony, that would probably clue me in.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I am happy I am child-free.
You know what else is like having a child? Running a Kickstarter.
Yep.
That's like babysitting a child right there.
It's one of the reasons why with The Last Sentinel, I am slowly but surely building everything up because I'm trying to decide everything I want to do for stretch goals and other such things.
Yeah.
Plus, I need more pages I have to get you to flat, so then I gotta color them all.
You send it to me.
I will, don't worry.
I was just working on lettering pages Marco sent yesterday, so I'm plotting where I want bubbles and stuff. The first 4 pages are kind of rad. We pick up kind of like where we left off. Did you read the PDF or?
I actually have not read it yet.
Okay, so I won't say anything then about what happens. We're gonna pick up where we left off at the end because something happens at the end, which is it's not really as terrible as what happened at the end of the first one, but it's still something happens. We're gonna pick up there, and you get to see a lot more of Jude St. Clair and like how things used to be.
Oh, fantastic! Well,
yeah.
We have someone back in the green room who's going to try to return with us.
Come on in, join the party.
And we have Peter again. Are you with us, Peter? I'll take that. There we go.
Sometimes it takes a second for like all the things to like activate, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was me this morning. I was playing D&D and they were like, Laurie, turn on all your stuff. I'm like, it's on. I can't do anything. Like, it takes a second, man.
Hey. Thumbs up.
James.
Hi, you're up, Peter. Yep. Peter Retro Palmiotti, my partner in crime.
I feel like the 3 of us could get into a lot of trouble together.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's like Three's Company with artists. Yes. It's Three's Company with artists.
Most definitely.
We're all screwed.
Yeah, it could be an issue. Who dat? So what are you working on today, Allie?
I am working on a few different things. One, I gotta get the Last of X piece up.
Oh, yeah. Let's see how that one. You've been working on that one?
No, I'm only doing it on stream so far. I haven't done it anyplace else. So, give me one sec. I'm doing. Those.
I can't do any of my things on screen, sadly. Unless you guys want to stare at me while I edit film footage.
You can always,
That's exciting.
You can flatten color on streams. I think people might enjoy that. Okay. Let's present some stuff.
Present.
There we go. Sharing that out. And this is what we had get going from last week. I need to. I'll be tightening up a lot of the lines and stuff like that. I'm still basically getting the basics in and deciding what I want to do with it. Like I intend to be working on this for a while.
Yeah.
And the other thing I have is, let's see, streaming's still bad. Yeah, don't worry, Pete. You'll be fine. Other thing I wanted to share was for my Patreon.
Share it.
I'm going to be doing a manga on my Patreon. I wanted to show some of the pages for it.
Yeah, you were showing me some of this stuff. I'm like, this is fabulous.
So this is the first page.
Day of Revelation. Flash of light, unknown origin, covered the planet. Flash lasted exactly 6.5 seconds. That day, everything changed.
So it is a post-apocalyptic setting that takes place around 30 years after the Flash, as it were.
This looks like my world, pretty much.
Kind of, yeah.
Mm,
Dystopian future.
yep.
And this is page 3, where we get the city of Bastion, the only remaining city, where life has some semblance of back to normal, and we have people getting killed. So
Bummer.
basically, shock troopers killing people. So
Fascist
that is-
regime.
basically, yeah. It's got a lot going. But so I am still doing some world building and some other things behind the scenes, like this was an early character design for the lead that I was working with, but I don't think I'm going to go with this one. I'm actually doing something a little bit different. And this is kind of what I'm doing here, where I'm building my turnarounds and getting everything so I have things to work with. And I actually do this stuff with most of my things. I build up this kind of stuff so everybody can kind of see what I'm doing as I'm doing things.
Nice. Yeah, I've seen this method used a lot in the industry, so it's smart. I've never done it because I don't do this. But I'm like, oh yeah, I recognize this. It's like, oh, I got that reference, kind of.
It was actually something I was doing. I took a class with the Cuber School, and this was actually something that they were talking about during class of doing these turnarounds. And the headshots, that was actually my homework one day. So, so it was just like I pulled that out and basically made it its own file. But while I was at it, I made a 3D turnaround model for the character, and then I made an action pose that I want to put the character in. So that's all stuff that I'm going to be doing, and I have posted the first 3 pages up on my Patreon, and I think it's at like the lowest tier gets you access to the comic. It's like $1 or something like that. It might be $2. So yeah, so like
I'm Canadian, so.
I have the first 3 pages up, and then I'm working, and I have the logo up.
Yes.
So I might work on this a bit more because I was having some fun doing the design stuff and trying to figure things out with the character.
Does she have a name yet?
Actually, she does. That's actually something I'm also trying to work on with her, is what is her name? The comic itself is going to focus on several different things that I'm basically taking a bunch of anime and manga tropes and I'm spinning them slightly. Like the idea of child soldiers.
Right.
She's effectively a child soldier.
Right.
I want to kind of put in perspective that this is not a good thing. So
well, yeah, of course not. Like
and I'm using kind of a henshin design for this, so things like Power Rangers and other such things for the character's suit. And if you think Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and stuff, they're teenagers. They're child soldiers.
Right. I was like, I know that we didn't see them as child soldiers when we were little. We wanted to like be them because I was younger than they were. But now that I'm an adult, I'm like, high school is a child. What are they doing?
Yep, they were little kids.
We're gonna let the teenagers save the world.
Right.
Probably not a good idea. Just saying. It's probably not a good idea.
So that is basically what I am doing with this. That's an aspect of it that I'm going to be playing with, is the idea of child soldiers. Now, she is the first prototype. There are others. There is prototype 1, 2, and 3. And then there are also the production model.
Okay.
And effectively, what they are is that they're orphans that have been turned into these super soldiers.
Like genetically modified?
Yeah, they have been given a super soldier serum effectively that has turned them into these things.
Gotcha. Because when we
And
say prototype, it's like, okay, they've done something to these people so that they're more than just people.
yeah. And there is children as well. Like little kids are also in this program that have been modified.
How little are you going?
The youngest one that I have in mind is 4.
Okay. That would be terrifying.
Yeah, and they are psychically adept.
Okay. So Alia from Dune.
Basically, that type of thing.
She's scary. Alia's terrifying.
Mhm.
Yeah.
My cat's complaining. So,
Well, nobody asked you, kitty.
yep. So my areas of influence that were big on this was Akira, and another manga called Spriggan.
Spriggan. I don't think I'm familiar with that one.
Most people probably aren't. Netflix recently released a series of it last year.
Yeah.
That was it's like a 6-episode series. Each episode's like around 45 minutes long, and they loosely adapt a storyline from the manga for each episode.
Okay.
Back in 1998, there was a movie, and it is quite possibly one of the most beautiful anime I have ever seen in my life.
Wow.
The storyline is so-so. I like it. It's dumb. It's action-oriented. It's a shonen. It follows a lot of basic shonen tropes. I will point out that the series is very anti-American. So if that troubles you, don't watch it.
Well,
Written by a Japanese guy who doesn't like Americans very much. So,
I mean, yeah. I mean, when stuff isn't made in the U.S., we really have no control over that.
2 of the villains in the Spriggan movie are Fat Boy and Little Boy. So,
Fat Boy and Little Boy?
Yep, Fat Boy and Little Boy were the names of the 2 bombs that were dropped.
I was going to say, wasn't it Fat Man and
Fat Man and Little Boy. That was right. Fat Man and Little Boy.
Those are the bombs, yeah.
Mistaken. But yeah, so those were those are 2 of the villains.
Which makes sense. I mean, yeah. I didn't think kindly of us either. Well, we were on the other end.
Nuclear bombs on you. But yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, so that being said, the artwork is in the manga is done by Ryoji Minasawa, I think.
Yeah.
Minagawa. And I love his art. His art style is definitely an influence on this, as is Kadoshiro Otomo, who did Akira. So, but the idea of like the child psychics and things like that, I'm stealing that right from Akira. So
yeah, I mean, if you haven't, it's like I didn't watch Akira for probably a couple years, and went back and watched, and I was like, God, this show is so good. It's so amazing. All the stuff that's in it, and like the complex relationships, and like just like the whole end of it, how like Tetsuo can't control himself anymore, and what it turns into. It's just crazy. So I think I saw that the first time when I was in, I want to say, high school, like maybe 9th grade. And it's like when you see something like that, it just changes your life because you've never seen anything like it, nor will you see anything that will give you that feeling again. So it just
I started in the theater.
Did you really?
Yeah, like it was like I might have been a freshman in high school. Yeah. They had it in the theater at the Wang Theater in Boston, and I went to see it there. And it blew my mind.
Yeah.
And then I saw it in a Blockbuster video, and I had to rent it. So
Too. I had it on VHS. I think I've had it on VHS, DVD, whatever came before Blu-ray and Blu-ray. Like I just have to keep
I have it
buying
on. I have it on Laserdisc.
You see what I mean? Yeah, that was the one in between, wasn't it? Where before it was like Blu-ray and the other one, there was something else that was competing with Blu-ray, and then Blu-ray won.
Laserdisc was before DVD.
Oh, was it?
Yep.
What was in between then? What was the other one that was like competing with Blu-ray?
There was HD DVD and Blu-ray. Those are two that were competing. And there was also early on there was also VCDs, which were kind of like DVDs, but
yeah,
they're more popular like in Asia. I had a DVD player that could play them, so. But yeah, so
it's like you have to keep buying music. You have to keep buying Akira.
Yeah, I have Akira. I have Akira on Blu-ray. I have Akira on DVD.
Right.
Yeah, Akira's a big one for me. But I also heavily recommend read the manga.
Oh yeah.
If you haven't read the manga, it's very different, and it actually explains a lot more than the movie did.
Especially with like the kids.
Yep.
I guess I can work on bubbles while we. I can work on bubbles.
Dialogue bubbles.
Yeah, you know how it is. It's like you just gotta put them all in, fit them in the right place, size them up.
Got SRS here with some 2 thumbs up.
Hi.
How's it going?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta fix that eye a little bit too. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for eyes, and I was just basically like Spider-Man eyes.
I mean, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then you can change it later. It's like
yeah, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna basically be like Spider-Man with them, where they will I'll probably actually change them and everything based on the attitude and stuff of the character.
That's cool.
I'm also probably going to give her a mouth on the suit that I want to move around, because that was something about Power Rangers that I was just like, if this was a cartoon, the mouths would move.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, that should.
It helps with the expression and right.
Yeah, exactly.
Emotion, relating to your characters, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Too big, too big, too big.
So I have a loose idea of stuff that I want to do with the design, so I'm trying to cement it more, and I'll probably make additional changes as I go. So
yeah.
But yeah, I did the turnaround thing and all that so I can keep consistency. This manga is, when people make manga, it's similar to comics in ways, but since it's much more of a production, like usually you have like a team that does, like somebody does, like one guy does one part of the backgrounds, one person does another part of the backgrounds, and then you got the character artist doing things and laying stuff out. Like they literally draw the different characters in all these like 200 different positions, and they just slot them in.
Wow.
Because they have to go so fast. I will not be going that fast because there's no way I can do that.
Oh, I was like, holy moly.
It's one of my other besties. Don't be jealous. It's Ian Chase Nichols.
Hi. Who's jealous? I'm not jealous.
No. Well, I call you my bestie most of the time. So
yeah, you can have more than one bestie. It's cool.
That's true. That's true. Ian, it's always good to see you. I need to have you on again. That was one of the that was one of the most fun streams I had. I'll put you up there with Dave Finch. So there you go.
Ooh, that's pretty high.
Now, Ian and I have been friends for well over a decade. And as I said, we like met flipping through dollar bin comics.
Yeah. That's the best place. All right, I need this to change. Go there. Thank you. Lock.
That's very fun. Yes, it is. How are you? I'm good. I'm very good. And how old are you? Well, that's a little weird to ask somebody.
Yeah, so what?
Like, haven't you
You
ever...
shouldn't ask a lady her age.
Yeah, I'm over 21.
So am I.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all you need.
Mm-hmm.
Old enough to know better than to answer that question.
Oh, the neighbor has somebody visiting. Just heard a bang on his door.
Uh-oh.
Nah, it's nothing. Not like the cops are showing up.
Right. Like,
That has happened.
whoops.
Yes, boys and girls. Someday we might learn about restraining orders.
Oh, God. But not today. We won't talk about that
We're not
today,
gonna talk
boys
about
and
that.
girls.
I've been watching a ton of Mr. Robinson sketches on YouTube lately.
Who's that?
Oh, it's Eddie Murphy's Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood spoof from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend them. They're utterly hysterical. SRS has a shout out to Ian.
Oh, hey. Everybody just loves Ian.
Oh, Ian is amazing. He knows like everybody too.
I think Ian and I have not met formally, but just in the chat. Like when Ian was on, I was in the chat.
Yeah, you were.
I know I'm on and Ian's in the chat. So someday, Ian.
Yeah, someday I'll get you both. And
Oh no, I don't want that song in my head.
Oh, I guess that's too bad.
It's bad. It's not a bad song. It's just annoying. It's stuck in my head. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. I'm not gonna say it because it'll get stuck in my head.
I'm like, if you say it out loud, it'll be stuck in your head too. And then I'll be like,
yes, it will.
I'll be getting it later in my chat, like, Laurie? I'm like, hi.
Oh, yes, and Ian definitely wants to do it someday. That would be fantastic. We'll have to do like a Saturday stream again or something like that, because I know Ian has tough availability for Fridays.
Yeah, Fridays are tough for me too at times.
Yep. So I'll do a special Saturday stream again for that.
Hooray.
We'll get a hangout going. And hopefully Peter will have better internet. We can get him on.
Peter. We wanted to hang out with you, Peter.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
I'm just hanging out with Peter.
Relive the
glory days of how we met.
Days. Yeah.
Hanging out on Peter's stream.
Great. I just watched a clip of that too, because I have like a clip saved. Where was it? It was on my webpage. I think I have to move it. But it was like what people think of Path of the Pale Rider. So I had like clips of some of the shows that I was on and like you guys were on. I was like, oh, that's the day that I got to meet everybody. So cool.
Yep. That was a great stream. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's how we met. That's how we met Daphne and Nita too.
It was
through Peter. Through Peter's streams. We were doing that. I'll zoom in a bit more.
Man, I need you to read issue 2.
Yeah,
I know
I
everybody's waiting. I still have not gotten my books, Allie. This
Oh, that's
printer is on my SHIT list.
I see.
Um,
You can drop
I
in, if you want
what?
to drop in the private chat which one it is. I'm cool with that.
I
So.
don't know their name because it's through the publisher.
Oh, well, it's even worse.
That's what I'm saying, and they're upset. Um, like they are putting on a show tomorrow, which I'm going to, and I have
Yeah.
a book.
Yeah, it would be really nice to have the
Do.
second book.
Right, to go to the show that you want me to be at to sell books at. I don't have my books, so there's still a chance that they could show up today on McLean's doorstep, but the guy hasn't given us like a tracking number or anything to track them. They were done on Monday,
Yeah,
but
I remember your post on that.
I got confirmation that they were done on Monday. So I was thinking I was getting them this week. They were telling me I'm getting them this week because my show is tomorrow. And then the guy went dark and no one's heard from him. So nobody knows exactly their status. So they could be at McLean's house right now because McLean isn't home. Or they could still be in, I don't know, BFE.
Zimbabwe.
Yeah. Maybe he shipped them to Canada. I don't know. All
I'll ask
I
Daphne
know is
for the
I don't know where
time
they are. And that's one thing I really very much dislike is being in the dark. It's like communication is a big deal to me. And yeah, the hard part is that this is my publisher's printer. So it's not like, it's like this is the
Right.
guy that they use, and he's back. It's on everything. So I don't want to name names because I don't like talking crap about people. Everybody has issues and there's always backups, but it's like, at what point, do we need to do business somewhere else?
Yeah. Well, I completely agree with Ian. RA is amazing. They are definitely not the cheapest, but they are super fast and their quality is amazing.
For the stapled books, do you know if they're any good with the glue binding?
I'm not sure. I've never had anything done by them with that. Ian might be able to answer that better than me. But I do know their saddle stitches is
Is it
cool.
okay?
Yeah.
It's probably the same then, because my Choose Your Own Adventure books are in that batch too, and those are manga size.
Yeah, the Tendabon size.
Yeah, the glue bound. There's a 60-page glue bound.
Yeah, perfect bound.
Perfect bound.
Yeah, when I eventually collect Prototype 0, I'll be doing it as a Tendabon. So I don't think I'll ever do floppies with it. I just want to do a Tendabon collection and give it 100 pages or something.
Right. Yeah, and I think with those the minimum is like 60 pages, which is what I did.
Yeah.
60-page Choose Your Own Adventure, which was fun.
That sounds fun.
God, it's like all these things that we did back in December and November and October, and it's like, can we just wrap that up, please? I'm already on to like the next thought, the next issue, the next thing, and it's just hard to have that still open and no one can even enjoy it yet.
Yep. Okay, so he's never done those before.
Okay.
No worries. You're new? Well, I figured, because I haven't seen you in the chat before. Maybe if you want to tell us anything about yourself, feel free. You an artist, writer, mangaka?
Yeah, let us know who you are.
Yeah.
We like meeting new people.
All for meeting new people.
Boo-doo-doo-doo. So you know what I did, Allie?
What?
I baked cookies.
You're evil.
I'm gonna take cookies to the show because I have like 12 copies of issue 1, and that's it.
Ooh.
So I need stuff to sell. So I baked what? I don't know. A ton of macaroons. I have 25 boxes of macaroons with 6 each.
No, that won't last at a con.
Well, that's what I'm hoping. Like, it's just hard when it's like you're going to see people, and I need that opportunity to have. Need help?
You need help. Well, I
Yeah.
always need help. What do you need help with?
Anyways, instead of selling comics, I'm going to be selling cookies. That's like,
Cookies.
I would rather be selling comics, but maybe the cookies will help. I got artists to pay. It's like I got stuff to pay for. I need those books.
I completely agree. All
Huh?
right. I completely agree. You have to pay your
Right?
artists.
Of course.
Very big on that. Oh, do you need a cover for issue 3?
I'm booked for issue 3.
Okay, because I was willing to do one since you were doing the flatting for me and stuff, so I'll give you the trade.
I forgot about that. I had 5 already. Can we talk about issue 4?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty much up for
You're
whenever.
like, I'll do it now. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, that's why I want to mention it because I was just like, was willing to do it.
I really 100% forgot that we were going to trade for trade. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
I'm new to this.
So you're new to this. You're new to making comics, new to creating. What do you want to know?
New to podcasting?
No, I'm new
What
to
would
that.
you like pick our brains? Because Allie's an artist who's quite accomplished. I'm a writer and I letter and flat. We both podcast.
Yep. Definitely both doing the
Someone
videos.
text me? I don't think so.
No. That's just a no.
We don't text. This is a podcast. You just have to put in
Right.
chat here.
We might text each other, but I don't know you. So,
yeah, it's like
if
it can't go in the chat, it probably shouldn't be in my text. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna say, creepy.
No. Hey.
Oh, yes, the weird things. Weird things that you get in chat sometimes.
Who knows? Maybe English isn't the first language. That's what I'm just gonna say that. Maybe yeah.
No, I'm not going to jump to assumptions yet.
That's true. I was just saying, like, there could be a reason why. Maybe they don't think they're being creepy.
Probably not.
Goodness.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
It's been a week already. Well, it is Friday, isn't it? It's
Friday.
been a week. It's been a week.
Definitely been a week. Yeah. I've gotten a lot of junk mail this week too.
Yeah.
God, just the amount that I've gotten this week alone has been crazy.
I think my cell phone fell off the do not call list because I'm getting all these weird, like, out of state phone calls that I don't know who they are and I don't answer. And they don't leave a message. So it's like, I think I need to go back and put my phone on that list again. Doesn't really last like a couple years.
Yeah, they do. They do last.
Especially, I know it's not for me because my phone number has an area code for a different state that I used to live in, and I don't live there anymore. So all of a sudden, I'm getting phone calls from this other state, and I'm like, I'm not even there. They're probably pulling for some list or like auto dialing.
Yeah, those things. Basically, you get thrown to an auto dialer, and it goes from there. Yeah.
I get one every day now, so it's like, Hi, anyone? Hello.
We're here. As I said, if you have questions or anything like that, you can put them in the comments section, and we'll try to answer them. I said you have 2 creators right here. You have an incredible writer, and I like to consider myself an incredible artist. So
yeah,
I'm at least passable.
Stop. You are incredible.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You deserve every bit of it.
I definitely try. actually checking a little bit of reference art. So,
one of the cool things that happened recently is Marco, my artist, he's involved in this other project called Malka, which is a comic book about, it's another apocalypse, like post-apocalyptic scene based in Hawaii. I think it's actually on the island of Oahu. And the writer for that one is a super nice guy. His name is King Eddie. We did a show together while they were kickstartering Malka, just to kind of raise awareness. And they, everybody plateaus. They were at that plateau, so it's like get them past the plateau. So there's this character in Malka named Carlos, and he's this Puerto Rican guy. He always wears the Puerto Rican, like a flowered shirt, so it looks like it's Hawaiian, but it's not. It's Puerto Rican, and he's got this head of curly hair. And apparently, this Carlos, they have Marco and King Eddie have worked on another project together. I forget the name of it. It was like a 3-page short, and Carlos was in it as well. So it's kind of like King Eddie's like the multiverse of Carlos, and I was like, we could keep that going. I had a character in issue 3. His name was Carl, and he was Hispanic. And I was like, what if we make him Carlos and he's Puerto Rican?
Oh, that's cool. That's
King
very
Eddie
cool.
was like, yeah. So yeah, he's actually in like the first 4 pages of issue 3. You get to see the Carlos again. Give us an idea of what your writing processes are. Outline sketches, first dialogue.
I believe Ian is asking that to SRS. And this is very true. Ian is another amazing artist and creator who has worked on properties like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and The Tick. So you have quite a group here to talk to, SRS. So and then my cat Rocket would also like to share his feelings and sympathies with you.
Rocket says, meow.
He just looked around for where that came from.
He was, I speak cat. Well, like, what's your process, Allie? Like, when you quote unquote write? Because I know you don't consider yourself a writer, but you do write and you build worlds. What's your process?
My process is actually very different from a lot of people, I think. Right here. I believe this is it. Yep, this is the one. I also got a lot of blank paper on it. Bear with me while I find everything. Got my scribblies. That's a roughie. That's weird. Where is it? I mean, it's got a bunch of my stuff in it, but where's the base thing that I'm looking for? My outline.
Oh yeah, like the important
thing. The hyper important shit. How do I make my comic book? Okay, so it's around here someplace. I'll find it later. So basically what I do is I build everything like I'm building an RPG. I actually use Fate, the Fate core RPG system of how to build a campaign and how to build characters. And I literally build everything up as an RPG. I even make character sheets for the characters, and I go from there, and I outline everything out. I then make some additional notes. I use what's the name of the app? It's Notion. And I use them for, what's it? Give me one sec. Just messaging Peter back. What was it? I basically build everything from there, and then I flesh it out in Notion. Like I build my outlines out from there, and I go from there. Like I make a page of The Last Sentinel has magic, so I have a write-up on magic, just like the different styles of magic that are in the world, and I have a breakdown of it. And actually, I have something kind of like what I'm working on here for it as well, that I literally build a Bible that has like my base concepts in it and things like literally this. I'll make a cover for it and everything, but I have the Bible. So,
cool.
And it goes through everything with it. And I said, this is my initial design that I did. And I actually roughed this out in a sketchbook, then took a picture of it and refined the lines for this. And I was kind of like, I don't know if I like this, so I'm taking aspects of this, going a bit further. And actually, one of the things I stuck on it is I actually have like one of those little things that you have in your comic. She's kind of wearing one. The thing over the heart.
Oh, yeah?
And I got one right over here.
Cool. She's got a disc on. That's awesome.
Yep, so I threw that in for you.
Heck yeah.
And then I have, my turnarounds that I'm working on. And again, these are not finished works. This is rough designs of things that I'm doing. It's a basis to try to get the feel of what I want. And then I build out the pages. The second page and third page. So, and these are, the detail in the city scene is a lot easier than you might think. It's actually done on a much bigger page that I grabbed a section from, but I copied a lot of buildings and pasted them in.
Okay. I was like, that looks like an insane amount of detail. If I were to be doing that, it would take forever.
This building right here in the back.
Yeah.
The same one's right here. This one and this one are the same. That one, you can kind of see it there. But yeah, a lot of this is stuff I just copied and pasted things in because cities tend to all look the same. So
it looks amazing. Like that looks amazing. How much, just tiny detail, all the windows and all of that.
Yeah, the actual original image is a lot bigger. Like it's huge. It's an entire 11 by 17 page, like all the way through the corners and everything. That's done. And then I just basically looped a section out and dropped it in.
That's cool. But that's awesome because then you can change your city around just depending, pick this section, this section, just for pulling different parts of the 11 by 17. That's smart.
Yep, that's why I did it. That's actually a trick that manga could do. That they build out things ahead of time. See, they also use photographs and trace over them and stuff like that, and they do a lot of other things. With it. A lot of use of 3D and other things. So, but yeah, the original picture of this is a lot bigger. So, but yeah, so I'm heavily pushing the manga aspects of this, where I have a lot of screen tones and things like this will not be in color. I just don't feel that it should be in color, so I want it to be more manga. And
I don't think it would. You know what I mean? Like my comic, like it's great in black and white, but once the color was in, it was like, oh my gosh, it makes a huge difference. We need to do color. This is like, if I saw this in color, I'd be like, okay, you know what I mean? It would be nice, but I don't think it would do much. I think the black and white really captures the tone, especially with, like the skulls and the, you know, the gray tones in the dilapidated cities and the infrastructure. It's just very black and white. Really gives it a lot of drama, that harsh contrast, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping to do with it.
Yeah.
And again, I pulled down a lot of pictures of car crashes and all that to create that one. And that scene again is a lot bigger.
Yeah. Okay.
The buildings on the top, it's a little bit bigger, but not that much. And I believe the bottom one, that one's also a little bit bigger, but it's not much bigger. The middle one is the one that's a lot larger.
I really like this style.
I'm trying. As I said, I'm going much more solid manga influence on this. So that's kind of my goal. I need to step away for a second. Can you entertain people for a few minutes?
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Hey, actually, will you share real quick? I'll share a screen. I'll play some videos because I can play my Path of the Pale Rider videos.
Yeah, that's definitely cool. I will remove that. I will put that up.
Ta-da.
And I will
entertain the peoples.
Yep, and I will be right back.
The Pale Rider. What's that, Allie? Oh, she will be right back. Go ahead.
That's a weird looking thing for me.
I don't know who that is. Is that you?
No, I'm pretty sure I don't have a bearded mustache.
I'm pretty sure. I was like, is that a filter? Because I don't think that's you at all. There we go. I was like, someone must have been in the studio messing with things.
No, it's because we use a big StreamYard thing, so it's just like but I'll be back.
All right. So hello, people. So one of the things that Path of the Pale Rider does, with every issue that we release, we also have a riddle to solve, and we also release a short film which kind of explores more of the world that is built. Because it built this crazy big place where death is broken, so your body can die, but your consciousness, your soul, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't leave your body upon death. So you get to hang out and enjoy your own decay phase. I say enjoy loosely. But your brain is basically rotting inside of your skull, and you start to lose your facilities. You become forgetful, you can become violent, you can become uncaring, detached, all of these things. So this is kind of the basis for this world where it's like people, animals, insects, fish, nothing can die. Shooting an undead or a zombie in the head doesn't work. And also, the zombies are not flesh craving, brain eating. It's you, it's me, it's your mom, it's your neighbor. It's still your personality. It doesn't switch over to a cannibal as soon as you die. But it's hard when your personality is like decaying. You become chaotic and you can become very dangerous. So this world is so big, and my cowboy, like 10 years into the apocalypse, he's like the only guy that's still kind of like looking for the answer. I mean, look at what happened with us in the pandemic. After a couple years, we're over it, right? We don't care. We just want to move on with our lives. So this is 10 years into this specific apocalypse, and everybody's moved on, and they're just trying to survive in whatever form that takes for them. So out west, things have basically devolved back to the Wild West. It's very chaotic and wild, lawless. And this is where our cowboy's path has taken him. So he's out that way. But in the comic book, it's like the meat and potatoes. You get the main story, but there's so many other things that our cowboy either can't stay there very long or won't be able to show us. Because it's not in his path. It's told from his point of view. So that's what these short stories and these short films is another way for us to experience stuff that is happening in this world outside of the comic. And what's cool about these is that they're fan interactive. So people have filmed themselves and sent it to me, and I put them in, or I film, fans that are local. So what you're going to see is like a lot of it is me and my husband, but a lot of times there's a ton of fans that participate. So that's really cool. Sorry, I didn't play anything yet because I was talking. I don't want to just like throw people into a video and then they're like, what the heck is this? You know?
No, you gave your pitch. It makes sense.
So.
When it comes to an inspired and privileged retirement, Pine Fox is where you want to be. Quality of life,
So pretty.
peace of mind, harmony, it's all here. The setting is beautiful and peaceful. The atmosphere is lively and enriching. The amenities have something for everyone and every interest. At Pine Fox, your health and well-being is a top priority.
Notice you're not seeing anybody's face.
Our community is growing and just waiting for you to join us. If making the most of your AD years matters to you, the choice is clear. Pine Fox.
The lightning in the background.
Yeah.
Katie, time to come in.
Okay, Mom.
For more information, call 216-555-3323 or visit pinefox.com today.
That's great. I love that video.
I wish I was coming back. I was like, I like stuff on fire. And they're like, oh, that's the one, it doesn't burn down the whole building. I was like, I'll burn down the building. He's back.
Nice.
This is cool too. This is a lot. I love it. Yeah, so that's the first one. And then we did a second one where it's like conspiracy theories, which was, I won't show the whole thing. Wait, go back.
By the dead. But see, if you
Well, hers
take
is
it,
the best one. It's McDonald's.
And vegetables.
That's the limits of life.
it's McDonald's. McDonald's broke death. And the reason I say that is if you think about it, their food don't actually burn. Their food was designed to be consumed by the dead. But see, if you take it, then you die. So it's the consumption of eating the food that only is made for that do not die. You get what I'm saying? It's McDonald's.
Nope.
That's what I'm telling you.
It's just bad.
Crazy. It's crazy stuff. I'm gonna go rob a bank.
That one was my favorite.
Oh, shit.
And this one.
Oh my God.
I don't know why the dead don't fucking die. Look at me. Look at me. Put the phone.
And there you have it. We've spent all day asking people what they think. There's some truly wild accusations out there, and let me say, we really have no idea.
Go to commercial. Is she okay? Somebody call 911.
And we're streaming in the background. Right. I think right there in the back.
What? I'm sorry.
The arting with the Alikat logo was in the background. It's awesome.
So we have fun. It's like we do stunts and oh my gosh. One of my welcome videos for the last Kickstarter, we had like I was dressed up as a cowboy and I was talking to the people, introducing myself and Path of the Pale Rider and like had a drink and like my husband would come into the scene and like push me off the stool. So he's like, I think you do another take of this. And I was like, really? You've pushed me like 12 times. He's like, we need to do it again.
I think he's like tossing his wife around.
Yeah, best day of his life. He thought it was great.
Right. Oh God.
So we did a blooper reel because we got to 100 backers, so that was fun. And then this call to action is really short, but you guys will be seeing this actually really soon. It's just creepy.
that is cool.
It's an alligator growl backwards.
Oh, neat, neat.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, I've done some things like that where I've taken I've audio edited like birds calling backwards and stuff.
I forgot to tell it to stop playing. It was like gonna play Eminem Rap God in the background.
Right, yeah, we don't need that. So
Yeah.
let's see. It is that special time of the day though, where we have the pull list.
Yeah.
What are you reading?
What am I reading? I just got, I'll show you. I haven't read it yet, but I don't need to. And it's one of those things where as soon as I have time, I can sit down. So this is a buddy of mine, and his name is Damian Beckman, and I got his catch-up tier. So his comic is called Worlds Away.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually, I think he started issue number 3, or he's, like, him and I are right around the same place. So usually he goes first and then I go right after, right? So, but this reminds me a lot of, I don't know if you've read Black Science on Image.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Amazing. But it's like, it's a family, and it's about this girl. She's with her mom, but really her favorite parent is her dad, and her dad is missing. So they're stranded on a planet. They're trying to get back to where they were and hopefully find dad. So mom and daughter have this very strange relationship. I love how he puts QR codes. I do the same. So, but just some of the art in here is just really amazing. I'm going to find one of his creatures. Damien is the writer. Is it this one? Just some really crazy. We have some really crazy creatures. Maybe it's in the next one. Hold on. Oh, please. But I think the art is like super great, and it's like futuristic, and yeah, look at this crazy.
Ooh, sweet. That was cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, that does look great.
He's able to communicate a lot through like body language. So it's like when you see the mom and the daughter interact, you can tell just by their body language that they're in a strange relationship. And like the daughter like doesn't want to hear her mom, so she puts on headphones so she doesn't have to like like she's going into the spaceship and she has her headphones on with the music turned up. Her mom's talking to her, she's ignoring her. So stuff like that. I was like, this is accurate.
Oh, that is very cool.
Yeah, and I think you can find him on Kickstarter right now doing the next issue. I think.
I might have to check him out.
Yeah. He's really cool too. He's such a gracious guy. He's a high school teacher.
Cool.
So again, he works a ton of hours and then does this on the side. So just, I don't know how he has time to do all the things that he needs to do, but he does. So they do a good job. The comics are always beautiful. The story is good. The art, there's nothing that would make you want to not want this. It's a great book.
Yeah, the art looks really good in it and everything. So.
Yeah, so check them out. Worlds Away.
Worlds Away. I'll have to check those out.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Today I'm going with Spriggan. By Hiroshi Takashige and Ryoji Minigawa. And this is a giant manga tantamon. It's like 600 pages. I think around there anyway. Just checking where the story ends about.
Yeah.
It's about 650 pages.
Okay.
So, and this is volume 1.
That's awesome. I love it. I want it already.
Some of the artwork.
Ooh.
I really like this style of manga artwork. It's very true to the late 80s, early 90s, and this ran to about the mid 90s as a series. There are 4 volumes coming out of it. that go through that collect all of Spriggan. The first 3 are out. They go for around $30 a piece.
That's
You
not
get the
bad
first
for
one. You can get the
600
first one
pages.
discounted,
Yeah.
and they're each like around 600 pages. This collection does collect the movie storyline. It's also, I believe, it's episode 2 of the Netflix series. Cover even has the Netflix thing on it.
Cool. Oh, I didn't even notice. Like, yeah, you got them all over there.
Yep, I got 2 and 3 as well.
Woohoo!
You could probably kill somebody with these things.
Yeah, I could.
But yeah, so that is Spriggan, and I don't even think I've read 100. Oh, I've read about 130 pages of it so far.
Nice.
And I'm not up to the movie story arc yet, which is the Noah's Ark storyline.
Interesting.
And SRS, you are acting creepy. You act creepy one more time,
How old are you?
I am
SRS?
booting you.
We're gonna ask you how old you are.
Yeah. Because you're acting like a 5-year-old.
I was gonna say 8.
Fair enough. You have more experience than me. I
Yeah.
think you actually have an 8-year-old. But yeah. So that was the books of the week.
I like it.
Yeah, I think it worked out pretty well.
Finished a script for Psycho Sal this week.
Excellent.
So he's kickstarting issue 3. I'm working on issue 4, 5, and 6. So
Even better.
look forward to that. William Russell's going to do a cover for my issue 3. It's going to be a spicy cover.
Ooh, spicy.
It's going to be a spicy. Yeah. People are like, you need more women. I'm like, I will give you all the women parts. There you go. Be happy.
That's what we need.
Here's your woman.
All the women parts.
She will be dead though, so sorry.
Oh, minor problems.
Minor problem. She still has all the parts.
It's all that matters. They might fall off in your hands.
Ooh, bonus.
I would totally do that in a zombie book like yours. I would just totally do that. So, yeah, exactly.
Can I put it back?
I think someone's man bits falling off too.
Oh God.
Oh God. Ooh.
Well, it's quite different for undead women than it is for undead men. Because the undead men, the things no longer work.
True.
I mean, the undead ladies, it doesn't really do anything, but there is lube.
That's true.
So it could still work.
Further proof it's better to be a woman.
Quite sad if you are undead man.
Well, I'm going to play a quick bump here for myself.
Do it. And I will. Bravo! Bravo! Bravo!
So yes,
I like it.
I have the vast majority of the book done at this point. I just need to finish up some of my inking and letters and texturing. And then I'll shoot over stuff for you to flat. Then I'll go through and color.
Hooray!
And that will be cool.
Flat. I like it.
Yes, you'll save me a lot of time. And I credit my flatters. So.
Thank you.
Oh.
I think I want to go back and practice flatting more on my own issue too. Like I have time for that, but you know, that would be a place that I could go practice when I don't have anything to flat. Marco doesn't like a flatter. But now that I have Marta.
Marco doesn't like a flatter?
Marco doesn't like a flatter because he proves his work as he's coloring it. But now that we have a colorist, we'll see how that goes. Because she's very close to being on par with him. Like their style is very similar, and that's why we chose her. Because she could color and you can't tell if Marco did it or if Marta did it. They can tell, but honestly, a very minor difference. If I didn't know who colored it, sometimes I probably wouldn't be able to tell. So.
The colorist that inspired me the most is Mike Spicer, who does Daniel Warren Johnson stuff. So I like his very simple palette that he uses for his things. And Matt Hollingsworth is another major colorer that I speak from. And he does a lot of Sean Murphy's stuff. I'm just trying to find some lines in here of what I want to do. Find some shapes.
Yeah.
Want the helmet to be interesting.
Yeah.
Like I'm probably going to put a screen tone right around where the mouth is and stuff to show that it's part of it.
Yeah, that it's just like a mesh or something over.
Yeah, that it's basically I want it to have like probably gonna do, some other stuff with it, but I wanted to give it like a face. Again, it's supposed to be kind of like a henshin style thing, so
right.
Kamen Rider-esque / Power Rangers-esque. And
No.
No, what?
I was messing with the spacing on the thing, and it's not what I wanted.
Fair enough.
The leading is not set. What happened? There, that helps. I was like, why is this taking up so much space, damn it? Because that's the hardest thing I have is that Marco puts so much detail into things where sometimes I'm like, I don't want to cover up that stuff. I know it's not important, but it looks so cool. Like I don't want to. Like in the last issue, did you see the scavenger hunt that I posted in my group?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he put like the leaning Texan, so that that cliche Texas pose where someone has the cowboy hat and they're leaning back with the leg up, kind of thing. Like,
yep.
So there's that guy's in there. There's a sink bath on the wall. He does these little gremlins next to his signature. So when he signs books, he draws this little gremlin. So there's like framed gremlins on the walls. There's cameos of the zombie bros, like giant mustaches and eye patches. He's done, what else? Well, the saloon, they play cards and have the fight. That's actually an old salon that people used to get like their haircut and died, but no one's doing that in the apocalypse anymore because it's not important. So with drinking this, we will still be drinking when the world is on fire, right? Yep.
That is definitely something I learned from The Last of Us.
Exactly. So they took the saloon, they added an O, and now it's they took the salon, added an O, and check that, reverse it, and made it a saloon. So if you look around the saloon, there's like hair dryer chairs and like those big vanity mirrors with the round lights at the top. So he put all that stuff in there. So I'm like trying to put word bubbles, but I don't want to put it over the cool stuff. So same thing with this. Like there's a car wreck, and I'm trying not to cover up all the carnage in the background. But I was like, oh, I forgot to fix thing, and that's better. It's not taking up so much space. Still not space right. Fun times.
Yeah, I would say so. Definitely sounds interesting.
So you have to go find all the cool Easter eggs. We did a musical Easter egg.
Oh, God.
I actually wrote the music out myself. But
that's impressive.
Oh yeah, I can read and write music. It's not music that I wrote. I just transcribed it onto the paper. It's an actual song from a Western movie. But the good news is if you can't read music, there's a QR code on the other side of the page. You scan the QR code, it's the same exact as the music. Because I was like, I put the music and I had so many people that were like, I don't know what this is. So it's like, oh, it's not fun if nobody can play along with the joke. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, I think I know the part you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yes, because I can read music. I am rusty, but I can read music.
But if you sing out just like the way the notes are in the first like bar, then you'll figure it out because it's such a well-known song. So
Yeah,
like,
that's
get
it
it.
was like the one you stuck into one of your trailers too.
Yep.
That
That's
was
exactly
funny.
it. Because shenanigans, that's why.
Yep. I agree. Oh.
We're gonna be making hot sauce. That'll be fun.
Oh, I love hot sauce.
I got this recipe from Chris Brown.
Mhm.
So I'll be he did a good job. It's really good in Bloody Marys, according to my friend Brian. And it's got my bear on it, so
Oh yeah, I saw the pictures of it. That's great.
yeah.
Yes, it has the
So
bear.
we'll have some of those. And the new Funko is going to be Dwayne Fink. So I'm excited for that to get it with his crazy hair and his mismatched pupils.
I approve.
Someone was like, it should be Jimmy. And I was like, yeah, but the next time we see Jimmy, something crazy is happening. And I want that Jimmy. I don't want, like, there's only really one spot for Jimmy. You know what I mean? Like in the Funko Pops, he doesn't warrant two spaces. So either do the normal Jimmy or you do the crazy Jimmy. Let's do the crazy Jimmy. Dwayne is already crazy and interesting just being Dwayne. But he only gets one spot too. It's like when we get further into the story, there's other characters that we're introducing that will get Funkos because they're important. Jude will have one more Funko, which is absolutely hilarious what happens to Jude. So I want that Funko for sure. Well, I plan on getting them all. Like that's the fun part. It's like I'm going to build my collection too. So
Well, you have to build your collection.
yeah,
Get your own stuff.
my own characters, right? Be like, nah, I didn't get any. What?
Yeah, exactly. What the hell were you thinking?
I don't know. Right?
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Right. I mean, sometimes you can't afford to. Like, the Funkos are not cheap. And
No, that stuff isn't cheap.
Marco wants them too, but I think he didn't opt in the first round either. So you can only do what you can do. Hence why I'm selling cookies.
I approve of selling cookies.
But at least they're homemade. It's not like, it's not like I'm buying Oreo cookies and selling them at the con.
Yeah, I could see where that might not go well.
Be frowned upon. But these are at least French macaroons, which are very hard to make.
Yeah, those are hard to make. I'm impressed.
I totally biffed one whole batch. It didn't turn out.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. I had to make it again. I was like, of course. When I'm trying to like make them look nice, just crash and burn.
That just means you have to eat them.
Right.
I mean, it's a travesty and all. We know.
Well, I dumped a bunch of more of the almond flour in there, and I added some chocolate chips. So they're like green chocolate chip cookies. They're peppermint.
That sounds really good.
Yeah.
Also, I love anything that has an almond flavoring to it.
Yeah, me too. And it's like that's what macaroons are. It's all almond flour. So
I have attempted to make them.
They're hard.
We will leave it at that.
Exactly. I teach a class how to make them because I got pretty good at it.
Macaroons are hard to make. And this has been Baking with Laurie and Allison.
My husband's like, you need a new description of your business. It needs to be comics and cookies. And I was like, I like that.
Actually, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
That sounds very good. You could stick like a cookie recipe into everything. I mean, there are literally manga that are all about cooking and baking and everything.
Yeah.
So
There's a comic book about knitting.
yeah,
I was like, that's amazing. My husband's like, why don't you make a comic book on cookie dough? And I was like, that's not going to work. He's like, make a comic book about cooking? And I was like, yeah. I was like, I kind of like my comic book. I was like, I just want to make cookies to kind of like fund my comic. Really. Like, that would be great. But I don't have to start her as much. Right?
would be good.
It would be great.
Anything to help the Kickstarter.
Right.
Fund the comics, pay the artists.
Exactly. Like, Marco, I'm selling cookies this weekend because I don't have books. He's like, what? He was very confused. He was like, I don't know what that means. He's out of my books.
Okay, SRS, you have now gotten to be way too weird. Goodbye. So,
Bye-bye.
anyone want to be my friend? It's like,
I think
what
they're
is
like,
with you?
they sound like they're young.
Yeah.
I don't want that. Let's do this.
But yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Just
Whoops.
damn.
Don't do that. I just deleted everything. Just kidding.
Don't laugh.
not. It's digital, so it's just like you push, like you just tap your two fingers and it comes back.
Yep. One of the things I do like about working digitally, I have an undo button.
Exactly. Otherwise, it would be a bad day. Oh my gosh, we had a big old storm last week. Lots of thunder and lightning. My husband's iPad got fried.
Oh, that definitely sucks.
Yeah, I was like, ooh. That better not happen to me.
What was it? I actually just bought a new iPad. Mine was the battery was definitely having better days. And I would literally put a video on and it would run out of battery like in 5 minutes. So I decided it was time to get a new one.
Yeah.
They don't replace the batteries on the iPad as easy as they do on other things.
Really?
Yeah, like they do it on the do it on like the iPhone and stuff, but the iPad not as much. I think I hear children.
Yeah, that's my children running around being loud.
It's all good.
What else is new?
Oh, they're kids. And they're on spring break, right?
We are on spring break.
Back to school Monday.
Yep.
And Laurie's like, happy days are here again.
No, I love them. I love having them home, but at some point it's just like haven't you watched the show enough? Like, haven't you, it's like they're quiet when they're watching shows, but they can't be on electronics all day because it's not good for them. But then they're like loud and destroying my house. So it's like, I love you, but stop.
I love you. Don't make me murder you.
Yes.
I think I want a little bit of the ear over here. Thinking that she receives communications from base and all that. So
Your headphones?
Yeah, like I have like the little ear things built onto the side, so.
Cool. Why?
Rocket's being weird. He's a cat. That's what they do.
What's your cat do? What
No,
happened?
he's just being weird.
Oh.
No, that's what cats do.
Yep, this is true. Fred.
I need to come up with a name for her. So,
Yep.
it could be kind of fun if anybody has any girl names that they like and they want to throw it into the chat. I will take considerations.
Venus.
Tempting, but no.
Like a fly trap.
Yeah, I don't think that's really what I want.
Is she... Tell me some of her characteristics.
Well, she is an orphan that has been heavily experimented upon. I don't see her as... Like, I'm still loosely plotting things with the storyline.
Is she follow instructions? Is she angry? Is she defiant? Is she...
I think she definitely has some anger issues. And being the prototype, she isn't really utilized in that sense. That there is... I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. Why can't I think of it? Basically, that I see her as that she was shelved in a lot of ways, that she's basically kept away from things, and now they need her. Because their main units are all out doing things. We have Grant. Well, hello, Grant. And how are you today? But yeah, so that is kind of my thought.
Oh, I know you've seen this. Evangelion. Yeah,
Evangelion? Yeah. Neon Genesis Evangelion? Yes.
Yeah.
That is another big influence on this, because that did things with the anime genre that hadn't really been done.
Yeah.
Like, it showed what's bad about child soldiers.
Oh, yeah. Because they were actually kids.
Yep, they were 14.
But what was the name of the first one? Because she kind of was the prototype and same thing. Like, what was her name?
Ray.
Yeah.
Yep,
so she always got like shelved, and she was hurt. They would get her out anyway, stuff like that.
Yep, they literally had an assembly line of Rays.
Yep.
The Rei Aoyama, which she had the last name of I think that was Shinji's mom.
Yeah, there was some connection between the two of them? She was either a clone of the mom.
Oh, she's a clone of her mom.
Okay.
For spoiler alerts from an anime from the early 90s. So,
right. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, people.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Go watch it. Right.
So before you watch the last 2 episodes, you watch End of Evangelion. Then you watch the last 2 episodes, and you will be confused, like everyone else.
Yeah. I don't think they did the ending quite right.
I saw the new movies they did, all 4 of them.
Yeah.
It got weird.
I didn't know what was going on. Like, I was in the very beginning and I was like, what am I watching? Isn't there some kind of explanation about where this technology came from? Like, they changed the angels, they changed everything, they changed the tech, and I'm just like, I'm kind of lost. They're still on my list to go watch, but I don't know.
I saw the first 2 in the theater when they released them, and when they released the 3rd, I was just like, I don't have time for this. And I watched it years later and went, what the?
See, yeah.
And then I watched the last one that they did. They finally put out part 4, and I was just like, well, that was Ava, or the third
Still,
version of it.
the what version?
That was actually the third version of Evangelion.
Oh, for Pete's sakes.
There was the original anime series. Then they did a redo of the anime series that literally had a disclaimer at the beginning saying of how the ending confused everyone. And then it said, prepare to be confused again.
Again?
Yeah, and then they redid the series, and then they had the rebuild, which was the latest movies that they did.
For Pete's sakes.
Okay, so when did I get into anime? Let's see. I could say the very generic thing of like when I saw Star Blazers as a child, but I didn't really know that was anime, so I won't really go with that. Or Battle of the Planets was another big one for me growing up, which they were just cartoons that were so different, but I'm fairly certain that 4-year-old me didn't know that it was anime. So
Right.
the big thing for me that got me solidly into anime was Akira. And I saw that when it was released in theaters over here. There was a limited release. I saw it up in Boston, so I'm in the New England area. And it was back in like 1989, 1990, right around there. And I fell absolutely in love with it, to the point that I hunted down the epic Akira series that Marvel had put out over here and started to get the floppies of it and everything. And it just blew my mind of how good it was. Then I realized that a bunch of the cartoons that I used to watch as a kid were Japanese anime, like Star Blazers, and Battle of the Planets was Science Ninja Team Gatchaman, and this cartoon about this boy and this big dog. It was like Sebastian and Belle, something like that. A French Japanese anime series, and I loved it. It was this boy traveling the countryside trying to find like his father or his mother or something like that. And it was just so wonderful. And the Mysterious Cities of Gold is another one that I really liked growing up. But yeah, it would be Akira is what really got me into anime. And from there, I found so much more. Project Echo was also another big one for me where I started out, which, if anyone hasn't seen it, I highly recommend it. It is a spoof of anime.
Really?
It's an amazing spoof of anime. The lead character, Eiko, is the daughter of a very famous superhero who shall not be named and isn't named in the cartoon.
Really?
But he wears a lot of red and blue.
I say, is it who I think it is? Because they wear a cape? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a thing at the end where you kind of see him with the costume. He's like folding it up. Never explains anything about it.
That's hilarious.
But it completely explains why Eiko has effectively the powers of Superman. So she doesn't quite fly, but she does leap tall buildings in a single bound.
That's funny.
So yeah, I highly recommend it. And like the way they film the like the alien spaceships and all that, where they have the turrets, like they have the giant ship with the super cannon on it. It's like, well, that's the Yamato, and it has like, you know, all the turrets turn and all the guns go at like different angles to fire, and it's like it's right out of Yamato. And then they have like, you know, the Macross units flying against them and all that, like the Valkyries and stuff like that flying out. It's like, you know, fighting them and things. It's like, yep, this is a complete spoof. And there's like the random character that is on the planet trying to find the lost princess character, and they are just named D. And it's like, that's such an anime trope. And there's the 3 main characters are Eiko, Biko, and Siko. And Ko is a common name that girls have at the end of their names.
Okay.
And it
Girl
basically,
A, girl B, and girl C.
well, yeah, that's basically what it is. A, B, and C. So that's part of the spoof. So it's Eiko, Biko, and Siko. And Biko is the villainess of the series, who is like the super tech character. And she like builds like the bubblegum crisis armor to fight Eiko in it and things. So she's like in the plug suit. Oh, not the plug suit. I forget what they call them. But yeah, the like the personal mech suit.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. And I also say only watch them in Japanese. Try not to watch them with their English dubs. They're just not as good. Like the voices are so good with the Japanese. It's like the voice acting is just perfect. But oh, I love that series so much. I laugh so hard watching it. I guess and I think they're all on Amazon Prime right now too.
Really?
Yeah, they're really good. They have a lot of older anime on that. They have like Demon City Shinjuku, which is another fun one. It's a good horror anime, an early one that I got into. I said Ava was a big one for me that came out in the 90s. I think it was the mid 90s. Start coming over here. Either way. The Visions of Escaflowne was one I really liked. There's like fantasy mecha stuff.
Yeah.
And I really like that. Rurouni Kenshin is, in some ways, my favorite anime. If Efrain was here, he would be praising Rurouni Kenshin as well. But yeah, those are big anime series for me.
I think one of
Serial
the first ones I saw
Experiment.
was Ninja Scroll.
Oh yeah, I love Ninja Scroll.
And
That was
kind of changed my and Kira. Really like Claymore.
Oh, Claymore's great.
Yeah.
It's more recent. I enjoy that.
Yep.
Plus, it has a badass female protagonist.
Yeah, it's just the whole idea of a Claymore is like terrifying but so cool.
Yep. Oh, The Last Sentinel has some influence from Claymore in it. For what she is, but
Which makes sense.
Yep. Oh yeah, I take a lot of I completely will cite my influences on things.
Right.
I'm also heavily influenced by a lot of books, so like Mistborn is a big influence for me on things. It's like my favorite book series. Was it Sailor Moon I used to like?
Oh yeah, heck yeah! I used to watch Sailor Moon after school every day.
That's another child soldier.
Yep.
Pretty Soldier Sailor Moon.
Yep.
So I believe the name is Bishoujo Sentai Sailor Moon. Which means Pretty Girl Soldier Sailor Moon.
Yep.
But yeah, having Ko in your name, that was there's a common Japanese name. Usually it's signified that you were a samurai. You were related to a samurai. Where you had things like Mariko and Tayuko and different names like that. But it basically denotes like girl. So those wacky Japanese and their naming conventions.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's interesting. My friend Judy wasn't really a big fan of Ko for names of things. she speaks Japanese, and she always felt that it was somewhat degrading towards women because it basically means like girl.
Right.
I can understand that. I can respect that.
That's what I was thinking too. Where they're like, girl 1, 2, and 3. It's like writing a bad script. You're like, man 1, man 2, man 3. They all fall down.
That's exactly what it is.
Go back.
Yes, Judy speaks a lot better Japanese than I do. So I can fake it. And that's about it. Even then, I'm not that good at it.
Like it.
But yeah, anime and manga were. I watch and read like every type of it too. Like I'm not just like shonen anime or shoujo anime. I'm pretty much whatever. So as an isekai anime, did pretty much watch just about anything. There's actually a Korean isekai book I'm interested in. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but the isekai genre is the one where people like go to another world and have to do something. Usually there's like RPG type elements to them and stuff like that of how they're done. And like Escaflowne has isekai themes to it. This one is the kid comes back after saving this world and everything and going through all this hell. He's been gone for a year. He comes back and like everyone he knew died. And like, you know, the world's basically gone to hell. His remaining family want like nothing to do with him because he just like left. Like he just vanished. And nobody believes him that he went to like this other world and things.
Did he know that was going to happen and he left to either try and stop it or something, or he just...
No, he just woke up there. Like basically something happens, he wakes up there. And he's like, what the hell's going on? And he does everything he can to save this world from like this demon prince thing. 'Cause it's always a demon prince.
Of course.
And goes through and then he comes back. Like, you know, he becomes the great hero there. He saves the world. He comes back to this world and the world is hell for him.
Gosh dang it.
And he basically sees everything that's going on. Everything is going through with it. And he's just like, well, I still have all my powers. And then he destroys a city.
What?
Yeah. It gets dark really quick.
That wasn't what I was expecting.
Wasn't what I was expecting either. That's why I'm interested in reading it. I believe it's a Korean book. I have to track it down so I can read it. But it definitely plays on the isekai genre and kind of goes from there. So I was watching a video review of it. And I was checking out the art. And I was like, yeah, I can get into this.
Yeah,
So,
that sounds cool.
But I also like the manga Berserk a lot. I was a big fan of the artist who I feel so bad that he basically died working on his manga. Yeah, the actual like dying at your desk working there's a word for it in Japanese. Like there's a whole thing for it.
Because it happens.
Around it.
Because it happens too much.
Yep.
Jesus.
But yeah, and it's particularly bad with mangakas because what they go through to do a book. I mean, they do something like 18 pages every couple of weeks or something. And it's crazy. That's one of the reasons why there's so many cheats and hacks for mangakas for what they do, where they literally will design out like 200 different poses for their character so they can just slot them into a scene.
Wow.
So be like, I need this pose again, this pose again. There's
I didn't realize they did it with poses. Like I get like background, like buildings that make sense, like landscape that makes sense, like big trees, small trees, scrub brush, and it's just like you can layer them in and make a completely different background. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Very quickly would make sense. I didn't realize they did it with poses.
Oh, yeah, they do it with everything. Yeah, they literally have the characters all drawn up in different poses and things, and they, just slot them in. I mean, they still have to do all the work initially, but like,
Right.
the guy who did Attack on Titan,
Hmm.
he spent like 5 years building up the manga before he started releasing it. So
I believe it.
and he learned a lot about art as he was going, because he definitely was not the best mangaka at the beginning. Like his stuff was very, very amateurish, but this really early stuff. But he sold the idea.
I mean, the idea was great.
Yeah, I mean, Shonen Jump passed on it because they're like, no, our readers don't like things this dark.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, then they went to I forget the company he went to that he sold it through, but yeah. But I mean, I love Attack on Titan. I think it's a really I gotta finish watching it.
It's not done. Well, the anime is not done.
No, they haven't released the end of it. I need to also finish reading the manga.
Yeah, I need to go to the library. I was reading it, but then there was like a wait list for a couple of the issues that were, everybody wants to read them. They were checked out, so I was like, dang it. So it's like you get stuck because someone else has the book for 2 weeks. You're like, come on.
Yep. I know that feeling. Are you watching The Last of Us?
I have been, but my husband and I, we've just been so busy recently that we're a few episodes behind. So
Season finale coming up.
I know I need to get caught up. Everybody keeps asking me because, of course, it's right up my genre, right? It's apocalypse. There's zombies. It's just a very Joel could pretty much be Jude St. Clair and vice versa. You know what I mean? Like that disgruntled, kind of grizzled character that really has a heart of gold, functioning in the apocalypse. It's the same,
Let's see. Do I like non-Japanese comics or animation? Yes, definitely. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. One of my favorite movies is Enter the Spider-Verse. I absolutely love that movie. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's this brilliant animation. I was a big fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra. I like Dragon Prince. Basically, that studio. I really enjoy their stuff. I haven't watched the latest season of Dragon Prince, but I did like it. The previous few seasons. For American comics, I've been reading Batman Deadly Duo lately because I'm a huge fan of Mark Silvestri. I like was it pretty much anything Dave Finch does. It has nothing to do with the fact that he's a really good friend of mine.
That's just a bonus.
Yeah, that's a bonus. Actually, a lot of the art I have hanging around me is all drawn by David Finch. So, let's see. Anything by Daniel Warren Johnson, I'll buy. Actually, my book of the week last week was his Do a Powerbomb series. I have shown Sean Gordon Murphy's stuff with his Tokyo Ghost series. One of these days, I will probably do for a book of the week. I'll do his Curse of the White Knight series, Batman White Knight, and probably Curse of the White Knight eventually. Let's see. Are there any other like major Image books I'm reading right now? Actually, there is a book, Chroma. I've been a big fan of that Image is putting out right now. I really like that. I grabbed the new X-Men book that came out this week that had X-23 on the cover. I mainly bought it because I like her. I will probably sit down to read it eventually.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's all stuff that I'm definitely into that, and I like trying to think. Classic X-Men books I'm a big fan of, like the Claremont Byrne run. I was a huge fan of. One of my favorite characters is Raven. I'll pretty much collect any book that she's in. I'm also a big fan of Iron Fist, which explains my comic The Last Sentinel, which is a basically a mashup of Raven and Iron Fist. So
Yeah, for sure.
so yeah, it's I read a lot of comics. I don't actually have a lot near me right now. I basically just have the Spriggans on my desk right now because they were my books of the week. So, but yeah, I like comics in general.
Me too. All of the above.
Yep. I will say I don't read the amount of mainstream books I used to, like the main like Marvel and DC stuff, as much as I used to. And it's nothing really. I don't really have anything bad to say about them. I'm just not that interested in them as much. Like, this, you know, I'm not the target audience. So
Yeah. Well, then it's like I've been spending money on supporting indie.
yeah,
So that's where my dollars are going. That's what I'm reading.
yeah. Like I backed Chris's book. I backed your book.
Right.
There's a few others I've backed, like Epicenter. I backed.
That one was really good.
Yeah. A few others that I just can't think of them right now. But yeah, I'm more likely to back an indie creator on things like my friend Ian puts out a book, I will buy it. So yeah. My friend Jay puts out a book, I'll buy it. Matter of fact, Jay will be on the show next week. Jay Kennedy.
Cool.
We got another Boston Irish creator on. Marvel and DC stories take too long. Yeah, they can. Like, I'm not really into like the huge crossovers. Like, I liked them when I was a kid. I thought that they were awesome. Like, I used to love the fact that all the X-Men stuff crossed over every year. And like when I really was reading it, like, you know, the Mutant Massacre had just come out, and I loved that storyline. Another big one that I remember was they did Fall of the Mutants. They did Inferno. I also really liked the Extinction Agenda. So I like those books. But now I just don't care. Also, in hindsight, the stories weren't really the greatest. Mutant Massacre was good, but it mainly stuck with only 2 X books really at the time. I mean, it also crossed over with Thor and Power Pack.
That's random.
I mean, there was like 2 issues of Thor that were in it, and it was funny too because Thor showed up, and it's like these characters are like, "Oh, we'll fight this guy." Thor was basically Marvel's Superman, and he's just like crunch.
Like you don't just no. Okay, that's good.
But that was the storyline where Angel lost his wings, and then later got the wings from Apocalypse. He got the metal wings.
Ooh.
So that was a cool story arc because it was like X Factor number 10 or something like that. It had Harpoon basically pinned him to a wall by his wings. It was pretty graphic.
With like, ooh.
I remember Power Pack. Yeah, Power Pack was interesting because that's actually something they tried to make a TV series out of that. I believe you can watch the pilot on YouTube. That was children superheroes, not teenagers, children, and they got involved in the mutant massacre.
And it's like, it's hard when they're trying to make programming for kids, but it's like, it's really shouldn't be. Like,
Yeah.
you really should not be in this or watch or want to be a part of it, you know?
Yeah, they got involved because of the mutant leech, which was like a kid, and they thought that he was in trouble, so they went down into the Morlock tunnels to try to help him.
Right.
And they encountered Wolverine, and this led to one of the early Wolverine Sabretooth fights.
Yes.
So
Epic.
So it was good. And it had like Cyclops like fired off an optic blast in the area of them and things. And one of the other things that was kind of cool was Magic was a New Mutant at the time, and she transported the X-Men into the Morlock tunnels, and she saw like all the death and carnage and everything, and she's like, I can come back with the New Mutants. And Storm's like, no, you won't.
Right.
You will go back and you will care to the wounded at the mansion. You will not bring them here. And she was just like, yep.
Yep, that's what I'm doing. Like, when Storm gets serious, it's bad. You know what I mean? She's normally serious, but when she like looks at you and she's like, this is what you're going to do because I say so, you're like, yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
I will be doing that.
That is exactly basically what happened. Well, we're coming up on 2 hours.
Are we really?
Yeah, it's been 1 hour and 57 minutes.
That is just working and hanging out. It's like what we would normally do anyway, right?
Yeah, well, we should probably just do this on a regular basis, just hang out and work.
I think so.
I think that'd be good.
I like it because I can just sit and work and chat and
yeah,
it's nice.
I can draw.
Yep. And I can flatten. I can do word bubbles. Hooray!
Yay, word bubbles. But yeah, I think that's another arting with the Alikat, where this week I was working heavily on concept artwork for my Patreon, which I will post the link again. And basically with this, I'll be doing a manga on Patreon. I've already uploaded the first 3 pages of it, but I need to figure out like how many pages I can do a month to put up there while I'm also working on my other book. So,
yeah.
But it'll be a patron exclusive. I have shown a few of the pages already.
Cool.
And I am designing that was my first concept design, and this is the more of what I want to do with it. So, but yeah, this is basically what will be up on Patreon. I'll probably also include a bunch of these for higher tiers. I'll give all the background stuff and things people to see. But yeah, it's the base tier will get you access to the pages. So you can get the story, and 3 pages are already up. So, yeah. So Laura, you got anything you want to plug?
Yeah, I mean, Path of the Pale Rider. We got the issue number 3 Kickstarters launching March 20th. I have a show. You guys are welcome to watch me too on Tuesdays, Tuesday Morning Brew. I interview people as well. We hang out, we drink coffee, and we talk about comics. Yeah. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all shenanigans. Yeah, but I think coming along for the Kickstarter, you'll get the most bang for your buck because that's where like the hot sauce and the comics and the Funko Pops and all the secrets and stuff are. That's the good stuff.
Gotta get the hot sauce.
Gotta get the hot sauce with the bear on it.
With the zombie bear.
With the zombie bear. No, I just designed the 2 T-shirts for this next one, and they're cool. I haven't released them yet, but one of them is a Big James T-shirt, so it'll be good.
Excellent.
People love Big James.
Yep. But I posted a link to the Kickstarter for the pre-launch page, so if people want to give that a follow, please do. And we are out, and I'll be back next week with Jay Kennedy. So everyone,
I'll be in the chat.
Yep, he'll be in the chat waiting for the kids. All right, and we're out of here. I gotta do one other thing first, though.
Oh.
Yep. Done it?
Jazz hands? Jazz hands.
That's weird. Jazz hands?
Jazz hands.
Not the full thing? Weird. I guess that's it. I'm like looking, I'm like, I don't think this is the current outro, but I'll play it because it's the outro.